The chilling case of Cody Alan Legebokoff, Canada's youngest serial killer. Hidden in the picturesque landscapes of British Columbia, Canada, lies a dark and horrifying tale, the story of Cody Alan Legebokoff. Dubbed Canada's youngest serial killer, his heinous crimes sent shockwaves across the nation. What drove this seemingly average young man to commit such unspeakable acts? And how did his victims, 4 women, fall prey to his deadly intentions? Today we unravel the chilling details of the Cody Legebokoff case. Born on January 21, 1990 in Fort St. James, British Columbia, Cody Legebokoff appeared to have a typical upbringing. Described by those who knew him as polite and sociable, Cody grew up playing hockey and enjoying the outdoors. A seemingly regular young man, he often spent time camping, fishing, and snowboarding, a love for the outdoors that dovetailed tragically with his later acts. Friends and acquaintances described Cody as approachable, quiet, and even charming at times. Yet beneath this facade was a dark and volatile nature, one that would turn the lives of 4 families upside down within a span of just 2 years. His seemingly normal image masked his monstrous capabilities, a reminder that evil often hides in plain sight. In 2009, Cody Legebokoff began a string of murders so shocking that they left Canadian society reeling. Each of his 4 victims was a woman with her own unique story, struggles, and dreams, lives cruelly extinguished by senseless violence. Jill Stuchenko, a 35-year-old mother of 6, was a woman of incredible resilience and talent. Known for her singing ability, Jill's life was a mosaic of hardship and triumph. Struggling with personal challenges, she vanished in October 2009. Her body was discovered later in a gravel pit near Prince George. Jill's family would later recount her love for music and the immense void left by her death. At just 23 years old, Natasha Montgomery was a young mother navigating life's challenges. She disappeared under mysterious circumstances, and while her remains were never fully recovered, DNA found on multiple items in Cody's apartment confirmed her tragic fate. Natasha's case left an agonizing void for her family. They continue to champion her memory, raising awareness about violence against women. Cynthia Moss was a 35-year-old woman described by friends and family as generous and loving. She disappeared in September 2010, sparking concerns within her close circle. Her body was later discovered in a Prince George park. The investigation revealed harrowing signs of brutal violence, underscoring the depths of Cody's cruelty. Cynthia's story speaks to the vulnerability faced by women and the need for greater societal protection. Lauren Leslie, Cody's youngest victim, was just 15 years old. An aspiring artist with dreams of using her creativity to leave her mark on the world, Lauren first connected with Cody through social media. The two met in November 2010, an encounter that would tragically end her life. Lauren's death especially highlighted the risks posed by the digital age and online predators. On November 27, 2010, Cody Legebokoff's violent spree came to a sudden halt. That evening, a rookie RCMP officer patrolling a remote logging road northwest of Prince George noticed a pickup truck speeding away from a secluded area. Suspicious of its presence in the isolated terrain, the officer signaled for the vehicle to stop. Behind the wheel was Cody Legebokoff. The officer's sharp instincts were piqued when he noticed bloodstains on Cody's clothes and a wrench inside the truck. When questioned, Cody claimed he had been hunting but struggled to explain the blood, or why he was alone in such a remote, isolated location. Further investigation revealed the body of Lauren Leslie nearby, her vibrant life tragically snuffed out. Following Cody's arrest, investigators began to piece together a string of connections linking him to other unsolved murders. Evidence retrieved from Cody's apartment was damning. Items such as a pickaxe, knife, and bedsheets bore DNA traces of his victims, undermining any defense of coincidence or innocence. Cody's use of social media to lure victims, particularly Lauren, painted a chilling portrait of premeditated cruelty. The discovery of victim DNA in his residence corroborated the investigators' theory of a deliberate and predatory pattern. Each breakthrough in the case moved the spotlight closer to revealing the depth of Cody's crimes. The trial of Cody Legebokoff, one of the most sensational cases in Canadian history, began in 2014. Over the course of weeks, prosecutors built the narrative of a cold and calculating predator who targeted women with deliberate intent. They argued that Cody weaponized his charm and sociable personality to manipulate his victims, preying on their vulnerabilities. The defense countered with claims that Cody was coerced into participation or was merely an accomplice, arguing that others were more directly responsible. However, DNA evidence, social media activity, and Cody's own statements left little room for doubt. On September 11, 2014, Cody was convicted of 4 counts of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole for 25 years, the maximum penalty under Canadian law at the time. The devastation left in Cody's wake extends far beyond his victims. The families of Jill, Natasha, Cynthia, and Lauren were left grappling with loss and unanswered questions. Their lives have been irrevocably changed, and their advocacy has kept the memory of their loved ones alive. Moreover, the case shed new light on the unique risks faced by women along British Columbia's Highway 16, dubbed the Highway of Tears. This remote stretch has been the backdrop for dozens of unsolved disappearances and murders, many involving Indigenous women. Cody's case renewed public attention, but deeper systemic changes are still needed to ensure safety and justice. For decades, British Columbia's Highway of Tears has been synonymous with tragedy. The Cody Legebokoff case, while shocking, highlights a much larger crisis, one of systemic vulnerabilities faced by women in isolated regions. In many cases, lack of public transportation, law enforcement oversight, and community resources contribute to elevated risks, particularly for Indigenous women and those on the margins of society. Advocacy groups and families of the victims have demanded increased action. Calls for improved infrastructure, expanded police task forces, and broader public education initiatives are ongoing, aiming to draw attention to this preventable cycle of violence. The stories of Jill Stuchenko, Natasha Montgomery, Cynthia Maas, and Lauren Leslie remind us of the human cost of Cody Legebokoff's actions. Though justice was served through his conviction and life sentence, the loss of these vibrant lives can never be undone. Today, community memorials and advocacy efforts keep their memories alive. Families work tirelessly to preserve their legacies, using their stories as a rallying cry against violence and injustice. Lauren Leslie's parents, for example, have spoken publicly about online safety, turning personal tragedy into a positive force for awareness. As of now, Cody remains behind bars, serving his life sentence. Eligible for parole in 2039, many believe he should never be released. His case not only highlights the capacity for cruelty in individuals, but also the justice system's role in safeguarding society from such threats. The weight of evidence against him leaves little room for doubt about his guilt. For many, the question is less about years served and more about ensuring no further harm can be caused by his actions. The Cody Legebokoff case underscores the vulnerability of women in society, especially in rural and isolated areas. Systemic changes, better education, and greater public awareness are necessary to break this cycle of violence. Communities must work collaboratively to provide support, increase law enforcement resources, and address the gaps that put women at risk. By learning from the mistakes that preceded this heinous string of crimes, society has the opportunity to prevent future tragedies. This legacy serves as a grim reminder, but also a call to action. The Cody Legebokoff case is not just a horror story. It is also a stark reflection of societal failures and the resilience of human advocacy. The lives of Jill Stuchenko, Natasha Montgomery, Cynthia Maas, and Lauren Leslie were cut short, but their memories urge us to create a safer, more just world. If you or someone you know is facing violence, don't hesitate to reach out for help. Together, through vigilance, education, and advocacy, we can ensure a brighter future free of senseless violence. May we never forget the lives lost and work towards a world where such tragedies no longer exist.